Alright, hi. Find a comfortable seat on your chair or right on your mat. Maybe use folded blankets to sit a little bit higher. Give your pelvis the space to, maybe tilt a little bit forward. So you have the option of lengthening your spine, becoming very tall. Take those fleshy bits of the sit bones if you're on the chair or on the floor. And just relax your shoulders and the jaw and the face. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through the mouth. And one more time, inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. And just allow yourself to arrive on your mat. Nothing else to do. This is your time on the mat. Okay, so today we start with alternative nostril breathing. And so for this one, you need to use your right thumb and then the fourth and fifth finger of the right hand. And then you can, I'm showing it to you, and that actually is not very comfortable, but when you do it, your fingers relax automatically. So, okay, so then you cover your right nostril with your right thumb, and you take a deep breath in through your left nostril. Close your left nostril, exhale out through your right nostril. Inhale through the right. Close it, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close it, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it, exhale through the left. And I give you a couple of moments to do this in your own time. And then slowly finish up that kind of breathing and return to your natural breathing. Keep your eyes closed if they were closed. Find length in the spine again. Relax your elbows, your hands, your shoulders. And then slowly lower the chin towards the chest. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck. And slowly open your eyes and lift your head. And then breathe in through your nose. And while you do that, lift your right shoulder towards your right ear. Keep it here. Keep breathing in and out. Squeeze the muscles very gently. And then with your next exhale, whenever that comes, slowly lower your shoulder back down. Let it glide down very naturally. Don't push it down. Just let gravity help you out here. And then again, with your next inhale, squeeze or lift that right shoulder up. So the only thing that is moving is the shoulder, not the head, not the rest of the body. And then whenever that next exhale is coming, slowly, as long as you exhale, lower that shoulder down. And then move over to the left shoulder. So with your next inhale, lift your left shoulder all the way up. And then slowly, whenever that next exhale is coming, you lower your shoulder all the way down. And it's always a little lower than you think it will be, right? That's how tight those shoulders can become, right? With your next inhale, lift the shoulder again towards that left ear. Keep it up here. Squeeze it gently. And then whatever exhale you choose, you lower your left shoulder as long as you exhale all the way down. Perfect. Then slowly turn your head towards that right shoulder without trying to push too far. Very natural. And then slowly bring the head back to the middle and turn your head over to the other side and back to the middle. And now we move the shoulder, the ear towards that shoulder. So bring your hands, either if you still sit on the chair, just hold on to the side or press into the sides of the chair. And if you're on the floor with me, just make little attempts with your fingers and push them down. And then slowly, again, very gently push that, lower that right ear towards the right shoulder. And maybe now you want to push that left shoulder down just a little and feel a good stretch on the left side. Nothing too crazy, all very gentle and easy. Lift your head back up and then same thing on the other side. Push that right shoulder down. And then slowly lift the head back up. Rest your hands on the knees again and roll the shoulders back. And then lift your right arm all the way up. Bend your elbow behind. And then just focus on that right elbow, the tip of the right elbow. And maybe if you like, you can hold on to that tip and maybe stretch it a little bit without moving the rest of the body, just the shoulder, opening up the shoulder gently. And then let that elbow go and put the hand back down. And then walk your left hand out a little bit and come into very gentle side bend. Your elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. And maybe you want to point it towards the other side of the ceiling, to the corner, to the wall, to the opposite wall. That's it. All right, and then if you want to, you could stretch that arm now all the way up towards that corner where the wall meets the ceiling, right? And then slowly come back to the middle. I have to say, I forgot that. Maybe it's a good time to come down to the mat now. If you're on the chair, you should have been probably on the chair now with that. All right, other side. So lift your left arm all the way up, maybe drop the shoulder down and then bend your elbow. And then maybe feel already the stretch. So your hand is on the back of your neck, right? You can open the hand like this and reach down towards the floor. Lift that tip of the elbow. And then maybe put the right hand beside you and come into, no, sorry, come back to the middle. Lift your right hand, put it onto your elbow, yes. And then come into a little bit more of that tricep stretch, right? Opening up the shoulder joint here, lengthening the spine, breathing. And now bring that arm down onto the mat. Maybe walk a little bit out, come into the side bend, and you definitely can stay here. If this feels good, stay here. Breathe. If you feel like, yes, I want to stretch my arm, stretch your arm all the way up towards the other side. Breathe. And slowly bring the arms back down. And then inhale both arms up. And exhale back down. Inhale all the way up. Maybe lift your head towards your hands. And then lower your gaze. Maybe the chin towards the chest when the arms go down. The last one, lift the arms, the face. And then lower the arms and the chin towards the chest. And then walk your hand over, your right hand over to the left knee. Bring the left hand behind you. Come into a gentle twist towards the left. Keep your sit bones firmly pushed down into the floor. And feel your spine very long. And then slowly come back to the middle. And then we bring the left hand over to the right knee, bring the right hand behind, grow tall, feel that part of the head pushing all the way up, and then slowly twist over to the other side. Breathe. And come back to the middle. Lean back maybe and just switch your legs. We're going to stretch them out in a sec. And then just bring your hands again onto the knees. And we do a little bit of a cat-cow flow, seated. So when you inhale, you open up the chest and you lift your gaze towards the sky. You arch your lower back. Be gentle, don't overdo it. That's the first one. And then as you exhale, you squeeze those abs in and up, scoop them in and up. Round your back, feel the shoulder blades moving away from each other. Use your knees as your anchors. And then again, inhale. If I'm a little too slow, then take your time. Go ahead and move in your own time. Round, squeeze those abs in and up as you exhale. And open up the chest. Give yourself a nice big opening of the shoulder girdle, the collarbones, and then round, create space between the shoulder blades, and let the chin drop towards the chest, and then come back into a neutral spine. And then we take one of those two legs and just rock the baby. And just very gently opening up that hip joint, stretching out the legs now. And then switch to the other side. If that felt really good and you want to keep doing it with one leg, go ahead. Yes, very good. All right. So you could definitely stay on the mat, on the blanket, if you are sitting on a blanket and if you feel like it gives you more height. I'm going to take mine out, and you can try both and see how it feels. Stretch out the legs in front of you. All right, and flex those feet if you can. And if your knees are not straight and they are a little bit bent, it's totally fine. Absolutely okay. And if you feel like you took the blanket out and you feel like now I'm rounding again, then please go ahead and sit on the blanket again, on the edge of the blanket pretty much. All right, so put your hands right in front and then see how far you can walk your hands forward with folding from your hips forward with keeping the spine straight. So walk the hands forward and then maybe stay where you feel, yes, this is good. I feel a good stretch. I can feel the back of my legs and it feels okay. I can breathe here and it's not, a crazy effort. I don't think about coming out of the pose straight away. And this might be here, fine. So walk wherever that point is. And then walk a little further and see just a little. And maybe you can pause here and stay here, breathe. And if you feel like your shoulders are lifting up towards your ears because you're tensing up, try to, with the next exhale, try to let them lower down. Let go of the tension. Give in to gravity, right? And then if you want to, if you feel like it, stay here or maybe bend those elbows. So now my spine is rounding, right? My spine is not straight anymore, right? It's never really straight, but you know what I mean, right? It's coming, the movement is not coming from my hips anymore. The movement is coming from my spine, and that's okay now. And if you want, you can maybe bring the palms up. And see if you can relax here and breathe here. And one more breath. And then slowly walk your hands or turn the palms over and straighten the elbows. And then slowly, slowly walk back. And then, of course, bend your left knee. That was my ankle. And then again, we work from the midline of the body. We twist over towards the left knee. And then your right hand goes onto the inside of the right leg. And you slide towards your ankle and lift the arm overhead, opening up the side. See if you can flex that right foot, push the right heel away, press your right elbow onto the inside of your right leg to help you opening up towards the front so that your shoulders are opening up towards the front. And then slowly, slowly bring the hand behind you. And if you want to, you can lift up with me, lift the hips up. So we lift all the way up. Breathe, opening up the whole front of the body and then slowly, slowly lower back down. All right, other side. Switch. And again, you can flex that left foot, and if that's not happening and your knee is bent, fine. Press the left hand against the inside of your left leg, and then turn the midline of the body towards the right side. And then slide your hand towards your ankle and lift the right arm all the way up. Try to relax with the exhale. Maybe the shoulder, maybe just the hips. And then slowly bring your right hand behind you. Lift your left arm all the way up. Open up the whole front of the body. Breathe. And slowly lower back down. Perfect. Bring your feet together. For Cobbler Pose or Butterfly Pose or whatever you want to call that. And hold on to your feet or maybe to your ankles, whatever feels, to your toes or to your ankles. And just sit very tall. Same thing that we just did. Try to fold forward first from the hips. And then maybe you feel your elbows, maybe they dig in a little bit into your thighs, the inner thighs. Use that and move them up towards the knees. Very gentle. Hold on to your feet. And now roll down, round your spine and move the head towards the toes. Let the shoulders relax. Let the head relax. Take a deep breath in and feel how that inhale lifts you up a little bit. And then as you exhale, lower towards the earth and relax the elbows, head, shoulders. Slowly, slowly roll back up. And come onto the hands and the knees. All right. Hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and we come into downward facing dog. So pedal your heels. Find a nice way to open up the back of the legs. Take your time with that. Make sure your fingers are spread out wide. The inner elbow creases turn forward. And you micro bend those elbows so that you don't over extend them. And then find that downward dog still. And lift the sit bones. Breathe here. What is going on in the neck? What is going on with your head? Can you maybe look towards your knees? Maybe even towards your belly button. Stretch the back of the neck. Maybe you can lift your toes. And maybe you can spread them out wide and put them back down. Maybe your heels are all the way up and your knees are bent. Then make sure the sit bones are up high in the sky. And then everybody lift onto the tippy toes. Bend your knees down to the floor. Take your time. And then from here, we lower down onto the belly. We can do knees, chest, chin first. And then slide into a baby cobra. Lift the chest. Stay here for a moment. Feel the back muscles working. And then slowly turn your head to one side. Lower the head down. Wiggle your hips a little. And again, with your next inhale, lift into Cobra. Lower your head down on the other side. And then lift your right leg, stretch it out, put it down. Lift your left leg, stretch it out, put it down. Put your head on the forehead. Feel the length of your neck. And then move your shoulder blades. Lift the shoulders off the floor and let them initiate the movement. And then lift your head. And if you want, you can stretch both arms to the side. And squeeze those shoulder blades together. Feel the collarbones opening up. Spread your fingers wide. Energize those fingertips. And then slowly make a pillow with your hands. Lower down, wiggle hips. And then tuck your toes under. Slide the hands underneath your shoulders. Maybe find those abdominals, those core muscles. Zip them in and up and let them help you to come up into table again. And from table, we tuck the toes under and lift back up into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Lift your right leg all the way up. And then bend your knee, open up the hips. Even out the pressure in both hands and the shoulders. Try to keep them a little square so that you're twisting just the lower body, the leg and the hips. And then slowly lower the leg back down. Come back into downward dog. And then from here, lower onto the knees. And then from here, bring your right foot in between the hands. Wiggle forward a little bit so that when you bend that knee, it's not over your toes. Lower the hips down. And then maybe push both hands into the knee. Breathe here. Lift your right arm. Lift your left arm. Breathe. And then your left arm goes towards the front and your right arm goes towards the back, and you come into a twist. Palms facing towards the right side. Breathe here and then lift your arms again. Turn back forward and lower your hands down onto the floor. Push into, so now if you want the block or your book, this is the time to get it, right? So now put your left hand maybe into the block to lift you a little bit, and then lift the right arm up. If that is a little too much, put that right hand onto the right hip. And then just think of your shoulder moving backwards, your shoulder blades moving toward the spine, and maybe you can lift your gaze towards the ceiling. If that's too much for the neck, look forward. And then untwist. Bring the hand back down if it goes up, and then put the block to the side and slide your right foot back. Now align yourself again, spread those fingers wide. Press all the 10 knuckles into the floor. Look at your inner elbow creases and move them forward. Bend your elbows just a little bit. Tuck your toes under. Squeeze those abs in and up. And lift back up into downward facing dog. And you can pedal again. Lift up the hips, sit bones. Find that stillness. Check your head. Check the neck. Check your breathing. And then lift your left leg all the way up. Reach up high. Square those shoulders. And then open up bend your knee. Open up the hips. Square those shoulders. Grab the floor without grabbing. Just press the hands, the fingers down. And then straighten your leg. Slowly lower your leg back down. Come into downward dog. Even out the weight. And then come onto the tippy toes. Lower onto your knees into table. And then slide your left foot forward. And see if you can grab that block. Just so it's close. And then from here, again, check your alignment with the knee. If you need to wiggle forward, do that. And then just lower the hips and lift the head. And then you can stay here. You can stay here and breathe and just enjoy that opening of the hip flexor. If you like, you can come with me. Put the hands onto the knee. Push the knee away. Feel that front opening even more. And then you can stretch out your right arm towards the front and then twist the center of the body, of the upper body, towards the left side and twist towards the left side of the room. Breathe, drop the shoulders, squeeze those abs in and up, and then slowly lower back down. See, my knee was hurting right now. So if your knee is hurting as well, your kneecap, then get that blanket and put it underneath the knee, okay? All right, so now you can also grab the block, put the block onto the inside of your left foot, press the hand into the block, or if you don't need the block, you can do it on the mat. So I'm gonna lift up my knee just because my knee hurts. You can do the same thing, or you can just stay there and pad it with a blanket or pillow, and you can, stay here. If the hand up is a little too much, put the hand on your hip. Open up into that twist. Breathe. And then slowly lower back down. If you had a knee up like me, pull it down. Put the block to the side. And then come back into table. Open up your fingers wide. Tuck the toes under. Squeeze those. Not squeeze. Scoop the abs in and up and lift back up into downward facing dog. Breathe here. And then slowly walk your feet towards the hands. And just forward, forward. Let the head dangle down. Bend the knees a little bit. Med down towards the earth. Breathe. Let the shoulders go. Let the head go. Bend your knees a little more. And then we inhale, press down into your feet. Inhale halfway up into a straight back, hands on your shins. And exhale forward again. Take your time. And inhale, lift halfway. Exhale forward. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale forward. And then we just roll up bone by bone. So bring your chin towards the chest. Press into your feet. And then start rolling up, starting in the lower back. Scoop the abs in and up. Let them stabilize you, lifting up. Then the middle back. Take your time. And then slowly, last thing that comes up is your head. Perfect. Come to the middle of the mat. And we're going to do a little bit of, I saw this yesterday and I liked it immediately. It's something called like the moving tree, and that's what we're going to do. So if you feel like, moving tree sounds a little tricky to me, and my balance might not be that good, then do it somewhere close to the wall, close to something that you can hold on to. And maybe you have that chair close by and you want to go for that. Let's see, you can see me. So come to the middle of the mat and bring your hands onto the hips. So let's first maybe start with mountain pose, right? So lift your toes and stretch them out wide, put them down. And then just maybe, let go of the hips. Just bring your arms to the side, very easy, and just turn them out a little bit. So we turn them out so that we can maybe open up the front of the chest a little, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then just maybe do a little gentle bouncing in the knees and find that easy, gentle bend in your knees, very, very small. So that gives us a little bit space up here in the hip crease, right? So we can bend here a little bit as well. It's almost like sticking your butt out. But as soon as you can do that, if you can stick your butt out, you can also lengthen the tailbone. So it's not so much sticking out, right? It's more like you can tilt your pelvis, right? So if you bend here, you can lengthen the tailbone and maybe feel that stretch in that lower back, right? And hands to the side. And then see where your head is. Bring the head back, maybe to the midline. Chin towards the chest and lengthen the back of the neck. And then just feel the stability. So maybe sway a little bit to the left and the right. Just very gently. You can close your eyes if you want to. And find the middle, the balance, right? And then maybe to the front and the back, feel the weight changing from the heels towards the toes, towards the ball of the foot. And then slowly open your eyes if they were closed. All right, perfect. And then bring your hands onto the hips. And then we bring the weight into the left leg and point the right toe, the right big toe onto the side, straighten the leg. So the weight of your body is in the left leg, right? Bend that left leg a little bit. And think of the core and think of lengthening the body and staying kind of in the midline. So sometimes it happens that we lean into that left hip. If that happens, like come back to the middle. Think of length here. Somebody's pulling you up. And then we bring the heel onto the side of that left leg and we stretch the arms out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the hips, foot out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, put the leg out. One more time. Inhale, up. Oops. Exhale, out. Perfect. Now bring the hands in front of your chest and see if you can put your foot onto the inside of, see where it feels good, right? And then find your drishti, the point that is not moving, and lift your arms towards the sky. Drop your shoulders down and feel the left side, the left foot, the left knee, the left hip lifting you up tall. Not leaning into the left side, not leaning into the left hip, keeping it square. You can put the hands together and see. And if you wobble, as I said before many times, that's good. Keep it wobbly, right? Keep those little muscles interested and strong. And then open up your arms again and slowly put the hands onto the hips and bring the foot back down. Shake it out a little. Same thing on the other side. All right, so bring the weight into your right foot. Bend that right knee just a little. Core in and up. And then step that left foot out and, just tap the toe onto, I already see this side is a little difficult than the other. Tap the toe onto the side and then we inhale, lift the arms, bring the foot in. And the foot can be just down here. Doesn't have to be up. And then exhale, back out. Inhale, lift your arms, bring the foot into the side of your leg. Exhale, back out. Inhale, lift your arms, row. Exhale, step the leg out. And then bring your left foot on the inside, wherever that is. Here, here, down here, it's fine. Bring your hands in front of your chest. And then lift the arms overhead. And if this is a little too much, it's totally fine to have your hands on your hips. Listen to your body, right? Drop your shoulders down. And maybe wobble a little on purpose. Just a little. Feel how your foot is reacting to that, right? Breathe. Again, feel the, how tall you can be if you don't lean in, if you lift yourself up. Yes. And then bring the hands in front of your chest. And put your foot back down. Shake it all out. All right, so then come, let's see how much time I have. Yes. Come to the front of the mat. Put your hands onto your hips. You know what? Yes, we're gonna do that. So have your blocks close by. Right, so that we can use them for pointing right underneath our shoulders. So then put your hands onto your hips and bend your knees, come into a chair pose first. Again, the weight maybe more into your heels. Scoop those abs in and up. Feel how you can lengthen your tailbone down, right? And then lift your arms, reach up high. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Bring the weight into your left leg. Slide your left leg out into a high lunge. Bring your hands onto your hips again. And high lunge, we lift the right arm. We lift the left arm. Reach up high. Breathe. And then bring your hands onto your hips. And let me just explain what we could do and what, a couple of options. So you can stay here and just, keep the leg and the glutes working here. And you can also lean forward with me, if you like. Put your hands onto those blocks, if you have them, and adjust them. And then lean into that left foot. Maybe walk your blocks forward and lift that right leg into your warrior 3. And if you like, you can put your hands onto your hips. And you can lift them in front, you can lift them to the side. If this is all a little too much and you are here, maybe you just want to lift your arms in that high lunge forward. And that is warrior 3 for today, right? So pick your option. You can also just stay here with one leg up. Perfect. Work on the hips, squaring down. Flex that right foot. Push the heel away. If you're here, you probably are very tired right now. Then lower your hands back down. Lower your foot back down. Bring the weight back in both feet. And step forward. Shake everything out. And then bring your weight or come back into mountain pose. And we lift the arms all the way up and sit down in chair pose. And now bring your hands in front of your chest. Bring the weight into your right foot. Slide that left foot back. And then come into that high lunge. Square the hips forward. And you can stay here. Breathe. Let's lift the arms up. See how that feels. Drop the shoulders down. Spread your fingers wide. Breathe. And then if you like, you can lower the arms down. And if that gets too heavy, put the hands onto the hips. Stay here for that warrior 3. You can also lower your hands down onto the blocks. Bring the weight completely into that right leg. Adjust those blocks. Flex that left foot. Square those hips. Square the shoulders. Long neck, and then see if you want to lift up one arm, maybe 2. Maybe you want to keep them on the hips, maybe you want to keep them down here, and maybe it's just one arm today. Go with what feels right today. Breathe. And slowly lower down. Bring the weight in both feet. And bring the hips, the hands onto the hips. And lift up. Shake it all out. Come to the front of the mat. And lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. And then drop the shoulders down. Lift your toes, spread them out wide, put them down. And then Hold on to your left wrist and then come into a side bend. Come back to the middle and switch the hand and the wrist. Bend your knees just a little. Keep the hips in the middle. Come into a side bend. Breathe. Come back to the middle. Bring your arms down. Roll your shoulders back. And now come to the front of the mat. Lift your arms and forward, forward. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Bend those knees. Hold on to the elbows. Sway from the left to the right. Slowly push the hands back down. And then walk your feet back into downward facing dog. Push the hips up high. And then slowly lower down onto the knees. Open up your knees wide, tuck the toes, or bring the big toes together. Come into a child pose. Relax the elbows. Breathe. One full inhale. One full exhale. Walk your hands over to the left side. Keep the hips in the middle. And slowly walk the hands over to the right side. Take your time. If I'm too fast and you feel like you want to spend more time here, go ahead, do that. Slowly walk the hands back into the middle. Press into your hands. You come into table. Swing the legs around. Come back into a seated position. Actually, lie down on the back. And then bring your knees together. Your feet as wide as the mat. Feel your lower back nicely, pushing down into the mat. And then relax the lower back. Let it do what it wants naturally do. And then slowly move the knees from the left to the right. Breathe. And then bring your feet parallel. And bring both knees into the chest. You can again rock gently from side to side. And then come into happy baby. Hold on to the feet. Press the elbows into the side of the shins. And then lift your feet towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Let the knees, the legs, the shoulders get heavy. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, let go. Heavy shoulders, heavy knees. Flex those feet. Slowly, slowly bring your feet back down to the earth. Shake it out a little. And then come into a twist. So you can choose again what feels good for your body. So I show you both, and then you decide what you want to do. So press both feet into the floor. That's the first one. You lift the hips, move the hips over to the right side, and then bring both knees up and over to the left side. And again, you can press, or not press, you can push your blanket or your bolster underneath it and make it as comfy as possible. And then just keep the shoulders on the floor. If you feel like, what's the second one? I want to go really with the second one. So almost the same thing. We lift the hip and we put it over to the left side. And then we stretch out the left leg, bring the right knee in, and then roll over to the other side. Same thing. If you feel like putting something underneath the knee, you can do that. So whatever feels good, go with that. Don't feel like, it has to be this way or that way. It just has to be the way that is comfortable and healthy for your body. If you feel like you can bring your arms into Goddess arms, turn your head over to the right side. And if you feel like, oh, my hand is not touching the floor, then maybe just bring them down to the side. Both shoulders are touching the floor. Let the knees get heavy. Breathe. And then slowly untwist. So start with the hips. Let the movement come from the hips and the knees and the legs follow. And then bring the hips back to the middle. And just feel, that you're right in the middle now. Even out the shoulders and the hips. And then do the same thing on the other side and see how it feels. So lift your hips over to the left side. You can stretch your right leg out if that's what you did before, or bend both knees and bring them both over to the right side. Every exhale, let the knees relax a little more, the legs, relax both legs and the shoulders, maybe your head. Maybe you can smooth out the forehead, relax the cheekbones and the jaw. Just breathe and be here in a beautiful twist. And then when you're ready, bring the hips back to the middle, roll back to the middle, and bring your feet with you. And then find that middle position. And now do any movement that is left that you feel like you want to do. Go ahead. Maybe you want to bring the knees back into the chest and just roll again. And if you're ready for Shavasana, then you can stretch your legs out, like that, or keep them bent like we just did. Bring the knees together and the feet out, palms facing up. You can also bring the hands onto the belly if you want to feel that. I invite you to put your legs onto that chair. I know some of you love the wall. Go ahead, put the legs up on the wall. Just not if you have glaucoma or maybe high blood pressure, or any of those conditions. So find your position for Shavasana. If you have an eye pillow, that would be really, really nice. Or just maybe any kind of little towel that you want to put over the eyes. Yes, I can see chairs. Awesome. Use whatever you have at home to make it as comfy as you can. As many blankets, socks, pillows as you need. This is the time to do it. And if you feel like something is irritating you right now, then move that out of the way. Make sure nothing else is touching you. Because it's not getting better with time, it just will bug you. So get comfortable right now. And then take that deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out with a sigh. One more time. Let it all go. Let it out. Just breathe. Maybe close your eyes. And let the thoughts come and go. Maybe focus your thoughts on your breath. And count to 10. And then start again. And then focus on your toes. Relax your toes, ankles, heels, calf muscles, back of the knees, hamstrings, thighs, glutes, hips, and allow your legs to become heavy. Maybe with your next exhale. Relax your lower back, middle back, upper back. Soften the belly, the chest, your shoulders. Relax those elbows, wrists, all 10 fingers. Allow your arms to become heavy. Relax the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, forehead, temples, cheekbones, the area around your ears, the jaw, unhinge the jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Soften your lips, your eyes, and the space between your eyebrows. maybe with your next exhale, allow your whole body to get heavy. Now slowly, without changing anything, bring your attention back to your room, and back to your mat. Back to your body. Start to deepen your breath. And then start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, small movements. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms. And then bend one knee and then the other. Take your time. And slowly roll onto your right side. Make a pillow with your arm. Rest your head. And just be on your side for a moment. And when you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. And then bring your hands in front of your chest. Lower the chin towards your chest. And thank yourself for coming here today. I thank you for coming. Namaste.